broadcasting, we've got that. Nice. So hello everyone, in this video we are going to basically improve or try to improve Opendora's providers page to display models that are working quite slow, and I need to figure out probably in another episode how to improve it. But so we want to improve that page to basically all the providers page to show maybe 3 different tabs: one default, models and groups. Or actually I can remove the default model and move it to the corner there. We want to show groups or fallback groups. We can even rename it to model groups now that I think about it. Then we want to have a page with providers and page with the models. So I am going to do it very traditional way. I am going to go and I'll record my message using WinServe, although I am not going to use the WinServe for development. I'm just going to clear that tabs off because that's some previous work which is not applicable. But yeah, so I'm going to just explain to WinServe, and then later I'm going to use Cloud Code to basically develop it. So, right, I would like to improve the layout of the providers page. At the moment we've got a few things that are not probably in the best set up in the best way or fashion. We've got basically default model. We want to move the default model to the new kind of settings icon that will be far right in the header. So just a cog icon, and then or basically default model button that will basically open a small dialog and allow me to pick from the available models and fallback groups a default model. From the available models and fallback groups available models. So basically that is already in place. What we need to do is basically create a button that will open default model as currently it's a card, and allow me to select basically the default fallback or specific model. This is the same mechanism as we use in the input box or in the settings of the model to set up the model. The second thing we want to do is improve the providers. Each provider should have a individual card. We want the same layout. Okay, I need to pause because it kind of WinServe after a few, I think 2 minutes or something of talking is stopping. So I want to make sure that the cards look exactly the same as session cards, and we basically can search for provider, same as on session. Look at the agents skills, agent skills. We want to make sure it looks like. So if you go to settings, agents, and then skills, you will see how we want to basically lay out the providers as well. And the providers should be basically, again, individual card. You can keep the icon of the provider, you can keep the name, and then keep it simple. Make sure we've got small icon or indication that the provider is connected or not. Again, double click to basically see the models or delete the provider or disconnect the provider rather than delete. And basically that's that for now. Actually, right, and the third bit is I want to be able to basically see in the third kind of view or tab, I want to be able to, right, create the groups. So we split groups, providers, and models into 3 tabs, where one group I can see all my providers, all of them as cards, a part of the models. The models stay as stable, but we want to improve basically the filtering, and we want to use the drop down and provide a selection for the models. By default, we want to have as well on the models page, next to the drop down selection, or actually before the drop down selection, we want to be able to filter all the models by connected providers. So this would only show the connected providers, and then we want to be able to basically filter by free, all, or free or all providers, or free, paid, and all. So kind of different filtering options for the providers. And the pills that are currently there, sorry, for the models. So the pills that are currently there need to be removed. Right. So as you can probably hear or see, this is quite messy. So I'm going to ask, can you split into task phases? Logical request. And clean this transcript up. Right, so let's see what we're going to stay with. Okay, let's actually go one by one, and we can think. Now I think that should be all easy. While we're watching, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger so we can see everything. that's fixed for now. Right, so let's go back to our conversation. Sorry about that. I think we have some problems as Cloud Code is changing stuff. So we can't see basically. Okay, open. Let's go back to providers. Okay, provider still not working. Okay. Right, so I think that doesn't look like default model. Default, no default model. Okay, so let's wait for it to finish, but at the moment doesn't look basically. Okay, remove the default model card. Yeah, that looks good. Added basically something icon. Yeah, I am going to keep it as is. I guess for now it's not very clear that it's a default model. Make sure all components, including hover labels, are shared CN. Okay. So it's done, not the worst job, not the best job, but fine. Now let's go back to Cascade, provider cards. Right. Let's take the second part of the task. Oh, what are we doing? Tooltips. Yes, I forgot. Nice. So we're almost done. No default model. Yes, default model. We want to set it up as big pickle. Right, so okay, so it's selected, fine. It's not really clear, but fine. Let's move on and see the phase 2 provider cards. Convert provider cards to, we don't need that much. The design of the session cards reference of the agent skill page, settings agent here for layout inspiration, key provider icon and name on each card, footer needs to have the all free non-filter, and we will also want to make sure when clicking on the card show all providers, all models for provider with search and filter. Try to standardize all model lists and pickers. Use one sharp CN component where possible. Okay. So let's see how far we can get with that. So what else we need to do? Okay, at the bottom, right, I am going to actually ask another question and try to figure out how to get rid of that. So right at the bottom of the providers page, there is a tools card that is redundant for the providers. Can you remove this card entirely from the provider settings page? So let's get rid of that. And we've got tools in here. Tool registry, okay, so that is rather new. That's actually not too bad. I didn't even know we've got that. Tool registry, tool configuration, desktop automation. Keyboard, that's really cool. It's even segregated that into groups. We can probably improve that next.
Someone's at the front door doorbell.
Right, let's not worry about it now. I didn't even know that at some point it was added, but fine, it's a good thing. We probably want to do some work to make it look same as everything else. And let's check if yes, we removed everything that we wanted to remove. Actually, I don't know if it's a good idea or not. But I'm thinking, should I just go ahead and ask Cascade? It's not always a good idea because it's kind of a bit of an interference. But I'm thinking, are we doing 1 and 2? Okay. Right, let's try to see how Cascade will perform. Actually, well, the reason why I'm saying that I'm not kind of thinking it's the right idea to use the Cascade is because I'm using like a free model in Cascade. Actually, I could switch to Opus for a while. Well, or maybe Claude. So we've got Opus and Sonnet. Sonnet is 0.3. How about Opus 0.5 output? 25. There's pretty much no. Oh no, sorry, there's Opus 15, 25. Kind of thinking maybe that should be fine. I just run on the free model. The only reason why I'm concerned is that I'm nearing my quota. But do you know what? For the sake of the video, I'm not going to be tired, and I'm just gonna use the Opus to basically to do it. Codex. I could use Codex as well, though. Fine. Let's use Codex for that. I am going to implement phase modeling filtering. Right, that's actually not bad. So phase 5, we've got already modeling page, so I'm going to use Codex for that. Introducing GPT 5.4. Well, that's weird. I got 5.5, isn't it? Why do I want to use 5.4? Am I missing something? Well, fine, I'm just going to stay with, I guess, 5.5. That was a weird message. I think maybe my Codex is out of date. I need to update it, but never mind. I'm going to do the phase 5, and that is replace current pill with drop-down filter at settings, providers. Default only. Okay, drop down filter, add. Will filter by buttons, like on as a skills page, settings, agent, skills, to filter connectors providers, a drop down for price filter, that is right. Let's see how Codex is going to progress with that. See what Cloud Code is doing, and we did phase 5. Let's do phase 4. I think that might be a big mess, but I'm still going to risk it and later fix it. Right, so just a quick update. Basically now we've got Codex working, we've got Cloud Code working on the same repo, which is probably very dangerous. And then we've got also Cascade working on the same repo. So let's see what's going to happen. I'm kind of predicting bad things will happen. But hey ho, let's see what is actually going to happen. So we can see the Codex. Oh, nice. Right, so Cloud Code are kind of finished. I like the look of the cards. They look a little bit bigger. 4 cards, nice. We've got groups, 3 cards, 4 cards. Models is going to be fine. Other providers. So yeah, we've got authenticated providers, which is nice. And then we've got other providers below. That's nice as well. Then we've got search to basically, which provider should we find? Anthropic. For whatever reason. Right. Right, for whatever reason, when Cloud Code basically was working on the provider's page itself, it kind of brought back the tools card into the page. Can you remove it again, making sure that you accommodate for the changes? Now Cloud Code implemented or Codex or someone, it might have been you actually, Cascade, implemented 3 tabs. Providers is one of them, where we again have got the tools card, which is redundant, so we want to get rid of the tools card again. Let's see how will that progress. Now we've got groups. Okay, that's the group. Anthropic, and we've got vertex anthropic. Nice. As you can see, we've got few providers here. I am quite cheap and trying to do things on the budget, so we've got 3 fallback groups. That is not necessary here, and we need to remove it because now we've got groups in here, so that's where it's supposed to be. But yeah, never mind. So we've got OpenAI, we've got OpenAI Codex, which we using now. This one we've got basically authenticated. I provided the key, but I ran out of credit, so I'm not using it. I mostly was using it for Whisper basically model. We got OpenCode Zen, as OpenDora is basically fork of OpenCode. We are using generously provided OpenCode's free models mostly. Then we've got NVIDIA, where again we've got plenty of free models there. Then we've got Kilo Gateway providing free models again, and Google Gemini, which they restricting a lot, so it's kind of not much we can do with. Then we've got Olama integration, Open Router, again with some free models. So the idea is that OpenDora mostly will run on free capacity. So as long as you put some credits in most of them, like let's say Open Router, I think if you put like $10 of credits, you get some capacity. I think there's like 20 calls per minute, 1,000 calls per day, which is quite generous. I mean, you know, I think a lot of models these days is quite good and working quite well. So, you know, if there is opportunity to develop for free, I'm all for it. So that is the idea in general of basically OpenDora to utilize and switch the free models. Now, I'm gonna quickly go back and ask, right, I noticed that inside the providers tab, we still got fallback group. That group does not need to be there because it's basically redundant. We've got specific groups tab where we manage the groups themselves. So can you remove that free fallback group card from the providers tab, providers page and providers tab? Now, let's have a look. In the meantime that we are doing this, we are going to have a look at the models page, And as you can see, for the models, OpenDora is using basically the same thing that OpenCode is using. We've got all providers, connected providers, and we need to switch to. Right, so we've got connected providers. Let's do the free. Yes, that's really nice. So this is what we wanted. So basically, if I want to see any models or all the models, I can go to my models page and I can filter all providers, paid, only, all, or whatever. The only problem is that the free models, and as you can see, right, so I've got connected providers, I've got free models, yeah. Now, I can't scroll down. I will ask Codex to fix it. Skip. Looks good, but the table does not have a scroll bar, so I cannot see scroll to see the full list of models. So let's hope this will be fixed, but that really looks good. So I'm quite happy with what we achieved, and surprised that, you know, nothing kind of broke along the way. Yes, we've got all connected only. Oh yeah. I need to figure out, it's something wrong with the models page. It's kind of working, okay. Right, now we've got scroll. Right, connected. I'm going to set as free. Now what do we have? So as you can see, how many models do we have? We've got open router. I mean, not all of them are actually, you know, usable models, but NVIDIA, they've got generous tier as well. So, and even, you know, we've got some Kimi K2 with different, is it inputs or outputs? Whisper Large V3. I need to look into some of them. Some of them are even not categorized. But yeah, so I need to play around with the models. I mean, NVIDIA is crazy. And that seems to be all for free. And they've got very generous free tier. I mean, they're even better than Open Router. So, you know, switching between those four providers, like NVIDIA, basically Kilo, OpenCode Zen, and Open Router. This is four providers that give you free kind of usage across multiple different models. I don't know why I still got fallback in here, but fine. Oh yeah, fine. Um, so so yeah, they give you quite generous free usage. I mean, why not use it for like even when you sleep and you want to develop something? Use that, even if it's just wasting those credits. Even if you wake up next morning and you think like none of it works and I want to throw away, just try to utilize it because it's there. If you don't use it, you lose it. Um, right. Okay. So what did you do? Nope. Okay. So I think that's wrong. I think it misunderstood me. I think if we look at what it's done, it actually done something the other way around. So rather than removing the card from the providers tab, it actually removed the um, groups tab. So I need to ask Claude to basically roll back the changes and remove the card. Um, I think you misunderstood what I wanted you to do. So I wanted you to keep the groups tab. So we want groups, providers, and models. Um, you can remove from the providers tab, you can remove the free fallback group card because we want only providers there. So providers tab within the providers setting page hosts only providers. We want the separate tab for the providers groups. Right, let's hope we can do it within the context window. I'm actually quite happy with it. The only thing that I need to figure out is why the model's loading so slow. But yeah, never mind. Okay. Right. Can you make sure the default filter is connected providers? Okay. So we go groups, back on. Nice. Providers still has the weird stuff. I got the groups nice. Just waiting for Cloud Code to remove. Yes, it has. Yes, it has, but the providers tab has still free fallback group. Right, I think Cloud Code struggles to understand me, and I'm going to quickly provide him a picture. People say that picture can tell 1,000 words or something like that. Or image or whatever. And that's nice. We've got that sorted, in and out credits. Come on, last push. After this is done, we are done. I mean, it's not perfect. I can still kind of think we probably need to do a little bit extra work on that, but I think it's a lot better than it was. And it's kind of becoming closer to the, it's getting closer to like a single standard UI, which I'm really excited about. Kind of now need to focus on making sure that the workflows and the agents to agents basically communication and the workflows are working better. It's coming along, guys. It's coming along. I need to make probably Open Dora public soon. Right. Well, I can still see it here. Okay, so this is kind of awkward. So before I go, I want to really fix it. I don't know, shall I restart it? Maybe I restart it and see if it's just that. I mean, oh, do you know what? It's kind of like, on one hand, it kind of makes sense because it does behave like a provider within itself. So I might just leave it. Yeah, I leave it. Kind of makes sense because if you open it, right, if I open each of them, so I've got all, kilo, for the kilo code, I can see, well, it doesn't scroll, 300 models, NVIDIA, free, open code Zen. I want to change it to free models as well. Right, I actually need to change something again. So before I wrap up, let me just quickly ask, right, can you make sure that the dialog box for the provider's card, so when I click through the provider, individual provider, I see basically connected, what provider name it is, and I can disconnect it, and then I've got basically the filter to free only or whatever. That filter is not necessary over there. We want to remove it from that specific card. because it doesn't really need it over there. We've got filter on the card in the footer, so that should already do the job. So when I double click on the card, it should respect basically the filter that is applied within. It should respect the filter that is applied on the footer of the card, and I should be able to scroll down and see the models, all the models that are currently selected. Right, so let's just fix that, to be honest. I'm kind of thinking like, could be, a lot of it could be done better than it is, but I'm going to accept it and move on, because at some point you kind of have to do that, otherwise you spend too much time on kind of small trivial things. Right, last thing and I'm going. Yes, so that's done. Right. Can you add scroll bar inside the dialog? Nice. Right, all working, all done. I am going to say goodbye to everyone and basically wrap it up. It looks good. I mean, there is few small touches I would like to basically do and improve, but all looks good, all works well. And with that, basically, thank you very much for whoever was watching, and see you in the next one.